Teacher Kozub.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kozub, and in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do some basic computer skills, such as navigating through folders, making, renaming, deleting files and folders, changing the view options of folders so you can see more or less information, keeping your file system organized. So let's begin. The basic way to navigate to a folder in Windows 10, which is the operating system that we're using, is by clicking down on this button down here, which is your File Explorer window. When you click on that, you're going to get a screen that looks like this, or a window that looks like this. Now, it's good to know about a few basic things about this window. You can resize it. So if you can move your mouse over there, wider, or taller or shorter, and if you grab in the corner, you can do kind of both at the same time, which is useful. All right. You can move it around by grabbing up at the taskbar, which is useful if you need to put it over here, and you can minimize it, which you can then re-access by clicking back down there. And you'll see that it's highlighted now, which indicates that there is actually a window open. It's just sort of hidden in the background. Oh yeah, and if you hover your mouse over it, it'll even show you that little preview. Anyway, you can click back on it, it'll pop back up. And if I want to just close it all together, it's now gone. All right, now let's open that again. You can probably also know about the maximize button, which makes it full screen, which can be useful. Quick way to maximize as well is to double click on the taskbar up here. And you can do the same thing to resize it back to its original size. So that's a quick way to do that. Okay, another useful thing about Windows, this works for any window. If you click and drag the taskbar and go all the way to one side of the screen and let go, it will fill up that side of the screen. You can do that to the other side as well, which is kind of useful if you have two windows. But usually you can just sort of resize it like that and it'll be fine. All right, so file systems. Okay, so on your computer, you're gonna have a list of things on your side like this. And mine might be different than yours because I'm on my computer at home and I have a few more things installed than the school computers. But you should, on the side, you should have a thing that says computer. And if you click on that arrow, you can open it up and you'll see a bunch of basically storage locations. Now, the common one is probably documents, which you'll use at home or at school. I don't use my documents folder at home because it's full of junk like this, but you might use it. Now, what you'll also use at school in my classes usually is this Video D. So you're going to see that it exists down here. If I click on it, there's nothing in it. So what's useful about this Video D, it's called a drive. What's useful about it is that it exists on the physical computer. Now, you probably have noticed if you log into your school account and you go into documents and you save something to your documents, and then you go on a different computer later and log in again, that file will still be there because the documents folder on the school account is stored on what's called the network, which means it's accessible from any computer. This Video D drive, however, is accessible only from the current computer that you're on. So what's good about it is that it has a lot more storage space. And depending on what kind of things you're doing in school, if you're doing stuff with Photoshop or Premiere Pro, you might need that storage space. So anyway, wherever you're saving your files, whether it's documents, Video D, or some other folder, I actually have a folder called files. This is how you can navigate through your folders. So first things first, you have sort of a bar at the top which sort of says where you are. And you have what looks like a back button. If you hover over it, it tells you, well, it is a back button. You have a forward button, which is grayed out now because I haven't gone forward, and you have an up arrow. So I'm going to explain a little bit about how folders work. And actually, I'm going to go to this Video D drive to show you this. So Video D exists underneath what is the computer section. You can see that there's computer. If I open that, there's Video D. Now this is represented as well up here. It says computer, Video D. Basically what the file system works like in Windows is it's just folders inside of folders inside of folders. So I can use folders to stay organized, and then I can move back and forth between them. So here's how you would make a new folder in Video D. The easiest way is simply right click, new folder, click, and it'll pop up. This is a really big preview. It'll pop up and it'll let you type in there right away. Now, a lot of people like to do this. They delete that and then they start typing. But believe it or not, you don't even need to do that. I can actually just start typing right now. What should I call it? How about my stuff? Press enter. There's your new folder. Okay. I can make another folder in here as well. Maybe I'll say like my other stuff. And depending on what you're, trying to organize, it makes sense to name them logical names. So if it's maybe ELA school work, you can make a folder for ELA. If it's social studies, make a folder for that, whatever it is. It's really important to stay organized in your digital file system, because otherwise it's going to be really confusing and you won't know where all your files are. All right, so I'm going to go into this My Stuff folder, double click in that, and you'll see, of course, there's nothing in it because there's nothing in it. I just made it. But what you can see now is that actually this address bar up here now says computer video D My Stuff, which is indicating I'm in the My Stuff folder inside of video D. All right. So I'm going to make another folder here. I'm going to say new. I'm going to say whatever. This is just a random folder. Now I'm going to go into here, double click in there. You can see now I'm inside the whatever folder. So here's another thing about folders. There's this back button. People like to use the back button because if I press it, yeah, it kind of goes back to where it just was. And there's a forward button, which also goes forward to where I just was as well. So those are useful, but they have limitations. What I tend to use is if I need to go back up a folder directory, basically if I'm in, say, whatever folder, and I want to get to My Stuff folder, the easiest way is actually to press this up arrow, which will take me up a directory. It basically says whatever folder you're in, go into the directory that folder was created in. Go back to the past directory. And you can see that it takes me out of it all the way to computer here. So that's a little bit about the navigation there. All right, I want to show you something else about view options. Okay, so here's my video D folder. These are huge icons, right? Kind of like annoyingly big. There's a way we can change that. If you go up to view at the top here, there's all these different options for how we can display what's in this window here. So right now I have it on extra large icons. There, that's probably what I should have had it on, large icons, which looks more normal. But there's also small icons, tiles, medium icons, list, content, and the one that I find most useful is details. All right, so details, why is that most useful? Well, because it gives you more information. So you can see now it actually has date modified. Oh, look, March 24th at 11:58 a.m. So I can actually see exactly the date this was created or modified. It tells me the type. If it's a file with a different size, it can tell me that. And in fact, I can even customize this window or these view options by right-clicking here. And the ones that are checked are already being shown, but I can also have date created. Okay, so now there's the date that it was created. So basically created and modified is modified when it was changed. And I can even move these around. So if I want to be really organized, so that's useful. All right, see whatever's already, or this folder's already in that view option. So that's really useful. All right, so that's a little bit about organizing. And also the other thing is you always have your panel on the side here, which sort of gives you your most of the places you're gonna want to go. I can always click back to video D if I kind of get lost or something like that. So that's useful too. All right, well, I just made these folders, but suppose I want to change the name. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go find that whatever folder. Here it is, I just made. So say I want to rename it. All right, it's really easy. Two ways to do it. One way, right click on it and go down to rename, which is near the bottom there. And then I can just type, here's a new name or whatever. Great. All right. Other way to do it, which is quicker and simpler, click again, and another name. So just like that. Okay. All right. What if I want to delete that folder? Click on it, right click, delete. Easy. Another way to do that, just gonna make another new folder here. Another way to delete, just press the delete button on your keyboard. It's gone. Easy. All right, so there's that. Okay, so that's folder stuff. There's more to it than that too. For example, you'll have different files inside your folders in all likelihood, which it's important to know stuff about that. I guess I'll show you this as well. If you click and drag, you can select multiple things. So that's useful if you want to do the same thing for two things. So if I want to delete both these folders, I can do that and delete. And the other thing I can do actually is if I go back to my home screen here, if I need a new folder, there's this button up here as well. So there's another way to do it. So hopefully what you're seeing is there's multiple ways to do things, and sort of knowing a few of these tricks is going to be useful for navigating and saving files and just sort of having general computer proficiency. Okay, so that's file system management.